This podcast is for conversation and educational purposes only. I am not, let me repeat, not a mental health clinician that's allowed to give you medical advice to go do some dumb shit. Yes, I said dumb shit. I do curse to express my individuality, so if that offends you, then please don't motherfucking listen. Now, y'all, enjoy the show. Are you tired of that bullshit? Toxic people in relationships. You may be dealing with a narcissist. Are you dealing with a narcissist who puts you down in every argument? You might be fighting your depression. Trying to figure out the lesson.
Damn, what's the lesson?
Maybe you're looking for your soulmate.
Where she at? Where he at?
But the dating scene ain't looking great. Well, I'm two keys and I'm in town.
What's up?
I'm gonna help you lay them burdens down. So please enjoy this episode of the Sexy Nurse Chronicles. Welcome back to the Sexy Nurse Chronicles mental health podcast. I am your host, Nurse Motherfucking Tukey. How you doing, babies? Welcome back to another episode, y'all. We gonna get this thing cranking. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you're following me on your audio podcast, make sure you download and follow me because, baby, I got some good tea for you today. We are gonna talk about after the boundaries have been violated, or you're starting to put up new boundaries right after you've already been with somebody, or if it's a familiar relationship or a friend relationship or a work relationship, you got to put in boundaries, because I'm telling you, y'all, if you don't put up some boundaries, people will motherfucking drain you. And that's what we doing some undraining today, okay? And that's on what? Okay, y'all follow along. So boundaries, a lot of people call boundaries, when you put up boundaries, you're rude or you're selfish, or it's not optional. Some people just refuse to go by your boundaries. They're like, you ain't been putting them up. Why I gotta put up with it now? It's either put up with it, it's either accept my boundaries, respect them, or you know what we gonna do? We gonna
cut that bitch off.
Cut that motherfucking bitch off. Do you hear me? Because if they don't respect you now, they won't respect you later. And the people that love you and care for you, they're gonna understand you have boundaries. Might be new, but we're gonna have to work with them if we want to love you, if we want to be in your space, if we want to be in your energy. We got to have the motherfucking boundaries. But you know what? First, we can't start off with a little sip, okay? So grab your tea, whether it's water, tea, wine. Y'all know I drink that Taylor Port. Yeah, and we gonna sip to that. Y'all, I'm trying to learn my new board. I'm getting good at it. So y'all ready? Count of three. 1, 2, 3. Take a sip. Now that we got that out the way. So let's talk about these boundaries. Boundaries are not rude. They're not selfish. And it's actually a immune system booster. And you don't have to explain yourself for it. Yeah, and they can be uncomfortable. Because where you wanted to say yes, now you're saying no. Where you wanted to say no, now you're saying yes. See, the thing about this is you got to be sure with yourself. I'm a rock with you. I'm going to rock with your boundaries. Whatever your boundaries are, I'm going to rock with them. But you got to make sure that you rock with your own boundaries that you set. And you got to know what your boundaries are. So when it gets to the point where a motherfucker just don't want to listen right before you,
cut that bitch off.
Sometimes you got to,
I'm
just saying, you got to cut them hoes off. That means no contact, no text, no social media. It's not a punishment. It's a protection for your peace. Do you understand? And no contact. It ain't got to be all dramatic. It ain't got to be all like, it ain't got to be all that. It can be, like I said, protective. No access. No way to get into contact with you, not through your phone, not through your pager, not through your cell, not through your social media. When you go in for this, sis, when you go in for this, bruh, you got to go in, and you got to go in hard. That means, excuse me, y'all, that was the wine. No reopening up wounds. No, it's all distant self-love. Boundaries are self-love. And yourself really love it when you do set them boundaries. I'm telling you. Now, let's just say you're in a relationship with a guy or you're in a relationship with a woman and you be like, these boundaries don't feel so good. Well, are you tired of going through that cycle, that trauma bond over and over and over? Well, you got to do something you ain't never done to get something you ain't never had, okay? So when no contact is needed, no contact is appropriate when boundaries are ignored and abuse is present. After I done gave you my boundaries, I'm not going to let you hit on me no more. I'm not going to let you cuss at me no more. I'm not going to let you disrespect me anymore. But if they still go about and do it and ignore it, you know what I say?
Cut that bitch off.
Cut them off, baby. Cut them off. So you want to choose your peace. Choose your peace over priority. And then gray rock. Gray rock means neutral, brief, flat responses if you have to. Now, I would say this is probably for people who have kids. If you have kids, you have to communicate with them. Keep them straight about the kids. The moment that it starts going off about the kids and what you got going on and what you doing and who you got to
cut that bitch off.
Cut it off. Cut off the conversation. Okay? Because that's one way that a manipulator or a narcissist can come in there and pick at you. And next thing you know, before you get off the motherfucking phone, you sound like this. You won't say something like that. You won't say something like that. That's not the way we want to end a conversation, because that means that person has the power and you're powerless. Keep that power. Keep it flat. Keep it straight. No emotion. No nothing. And examples. Okay. I hear you. Well, that's your opinion. I'm not discussing that. And if they keep on, baby, fucking gauge.
Cut that bitch off.
That's it in the phone call. And what gray rock works. Why gray rock works? Because toxic people feel off reactions. Any reaction they can get out of you, whether it's happy, whether it's a good reaction, or if it's a pissed off bad reaction, they know I still got that bitch. I still got that nigga. Look, I still got them disturbed. You don't give them no fuel. You don't give them no fire. Yeah, and then stop apologizing. Don't apologize for having boundaries, because when you go apologizing and looking for boundaries, looking for reasons to explain your boundaries, you're looking for validation. You don't need no motherfucking validation. You only need to
cut that bitch off.
If a motherfucker get wrong with you, let them know you ain't playing. This is my energy, okay? This is it. And so, no is a complete sentence, believe it or not. You don't need nothing extra with it. Like I said, when you start over-validating yourself and explaining your boundaries, people gonna think, well, look, you still feel like it seems like you worried about it because you sit here over-explaining yourself. And what's understood don't have to be said. I remember being in relationships where I'll be like, oh, I like you, but no, I'm not going to come over on the first night. Or I would tell myself, no, I'm not going to have sex on the first night, knowing I ain't had no date. And it's like, I want him in a space where I can have him and him to come around and build a relationship. But what I do, I didn't cut that bitch off. I think I probably might have had a time or two where I'm like, you know what, fuck it. We're grown. You want it, I want it. But then it's like later on you realize you're going in the same cycles. You're just dead end relationships. The moment I got tired of dead end relationships was the moment I learned how to be solitude. You know, so I went from having a 10-year divorce. I was married. I was divorced after 10 years. And there's certain things that you're just used to in a relationship. You're used to having someone to sleep next to you, to hold you at night. I was used to that. And so in the beginning of me getting out and dating again, I was looking to fulfill me. You know, have a guy stay over, spend the night, watch Netflix, eat snacks, and all that good stuff. And it ended how it ended. But when he left, though, I felt empty. I felt like it was raining all day, and I was just bleh. You know, there was nothing fulfilling about that, and I got tired of having that feeling. And so I just went gray rock on just dating for a while. And I learned how to live by myself, which I had never lived by myself. Every time I've had a place, somebody has come to move with me. But now I'm bringing in 2 girls. And so I've never lived alone with 2 girls, my 2 girls, by ourselves. So I had to learn how to flush that feeling, you know, it's like go just fight through the withdrawals of being by myself. Eventually, I got 2 cats. And, honey, I love them because they know when mama's tired or she want to be snuggled. They'll come and snuggle on one side, one on the other side. But I just had me in the sandwich in the bed like this. But you know what? It felt good to me. Or even just having my kids come and cuddle with me. That was a beautiful thing. I love having my loved ones around me, even my best friends. It don't always have to be no man. But then I started liking it too motherfucking much. You know how you like yourself too much? And I be like doing snow angels in my bed. Like all the corners is mine. All the corners is mine. Love it. And now I like watching TV and watching little movies by myself. You know, so life is good. But you got to get through that purging. And then you'll be more particular with who you bring in your bed because you ain't had nobody in your bed. And so for you to be blessed to come in my sanctuary, you got to be something. And that's when, I started going on dates and realizing I never want to fuck you anyways. I ain't trying to waste no bodies on just random people. No, fuck that. This is a sanctuary. We're going to take a sip. Mm-hmm. Y'all take one with me. Mm-hmm. On that, for real. But you got to be okay with being by yourself. And you got to really start to love you. When you feel like you want to replace that person with another person, replace it with some self-care. Go get you, and I'm not just physical self-care. Physical self-care is great. Going to go get you a massage. Going to go get rubbed on, honey. Go get your feet done. Get your hair done. Walk outside like I'm that bitch. Like I'm that bitch. And when you walk out there, the whole world gonna feel your aura. And then the right people, they're gonna attract to you. But you gotta change your rooms that you're in. Check the room that you're in. If you're the most successful in the room, you need a new room to be in. You need new friends to be around. You need time to enjoy the surroundings. Bitch, go hiking. Now, hiking ain't what I do, because if I walk, I'm walking for a fucking purpose. I'm going somewhere. But go and enjoy, what life has. Go heal. Healing is beautiful. And, you know that you're healing when you talk to a new person. So you're dating somebody or even talking to your friends. When that toxic ex don't come up as much, to come up to really not at all. Some people, you never told me your child's father, which both of my kids have the same daddy. But, they're like, are they the same dad? They ask questions like, I'm giving y'all the tea, by the way. I am single too. But anyways, only for who is my type of speed that knows how to abide by my boundaries. You know what I'm saying? But just not being able to talk about them. I don't have to talk about them. When you find somebody that won't shut the fuck up about their ex, like their ex is a part of the everyday routine, don't no woman want that. Don't no man want to hear about your ex, and they want to hear about your story, your sob story. Yes, you do have a compelling story. Everybody has a story. But it might not be appropriate to lay that all on them in the beginning. And I will say, for me as a psychiatric nurse practitioner, when you start laying that out in the beginning, I have no choice but to assess you. I ain't got no choice. And I'm not judging. I'm just looking at things based off what I see. And I guess this little white guy I call myself trying to date a little white guy, because they say you need to step out of your comfort circle. And so I call myself stepping out my comfort circle, talking to this little white guy. He wasn't little, he would be, but he had a good job and everything. But the only thing good was he would not stop talking about his baby mama that had just split. And so he's basically got full custody of the baby. She don't feed the baby. So when she's with the baby and the baby ain't ate, he got to make sure the baby got something to eat. And you going and then you tell me how she cuss you out every 5 minutes. And then she say that she's in a relationship. But she's still calling you every day. And you're telling me, I don't give a fuck. I would have
cut that bitch off
a long motherfucking time ago. Nobody wants to hear that shit. So maybe if you're still dating and you talk about your ex a lot, you're not ready. No healed woman wants to hear that bullshit, okay? Work it out. And if he wasn't talking about her, he was talking about a future with me and him. And I'm just like, oh. But you know what? I'm a nice person. After one date, he talked about her, and then he have no ambition and drive. Like, he does have a good job, but see, if you the type of woman like me, you want your man to, do you want a business? How can we make this money grow? And if you're so okay with it, well, let's invest it back into my mental health company. Let's get these racks up. I'm not okay with just being just content. And no successful woman is going to be okay with a man who is just content. If he's not pouring into herself, he's pouring into her because, equally yoked. Definitely you're going to see the benefits, the fruits of that. But hell, it's hard to find somebody equally yoked these days. And then too, as far as boundaries, they're not easy to set up with people that don't respect them. So my mom, for instance, if you've been listening to all 30 episodes, you already know about my mom. But she's a manipulator and narcissist. And I had a tough upbringing. The black sheep always have the toughest upbringing. And that's fine. But when I finally stood up, I was like, Mom, I'm going to spend time with my family this Thanksgiving. I'm probably not going to come over. I'm not coming over. I just want to stay home. I'm tired. I've had a long semester. She was still putting me in group messages with the family. I'm like, what fucking point do you not fucking get? It's okay for you to be grown and get older and spend time with your own family that you made. This whole tradition, gotta go over grandmama's house every time, or gotta go over auntie house every time, or whoever. Sometimes you just want to stay home. She couldn't respect that boundary. And then, there was some inner turmoil between me and my sister because of my mom. And so she just come out, was like, hey, just had my sister call me and was like, I don't know what's going on, but that's too much drama. That's not how we do things, ladies. And because I wasn't brought up from a place where I learned how to put up boundaries, it made it hard for me to put up boundaries. But when I did, like, no, not doing this. Okay, I got too much going on, especially if you're in school or you're trying to do a trade or you're trying to develop a business. You only got so much energy. You only got so many fuckets in your bucket. After those fuckets are gone, you don't have any. You'll be in the negative. Bitch, you don't need to be in the negative. Okay, you don't have enough energy. You need to sleep. And I be damned if I let any of these people dictate my life to the point where like I'm in a psychiatric inpatient facility. You got people 60, 70 years old hanging up the phone on their mama. Just mad at them. My mama, you 40, 50, 60 years old. No, we're not doing that bullshit. And it's no tie just because you're family, but that's your mama, that's your daddy, that's your sister, that's your auntie, that's your uncle. That don't matter. That don't give nobody excuse to push somebody's boundaries and disrespect them. That's for anybody. Anybody. Human. Anybody. If they make your stomach hurt when you're around them, make your blood pressure go up, make your chest tight, they not respecting your boundaries. Your energy is saying, I'm in the wrong place and I need to fucking go. And you know what I'll be.
Cut that bitch off.
I'll be done cut that bitch off. I'll be gone. I'm telling you. I'll be gone like Sunday morning, baby. And we're going to take a sip on that. Y'all ready? For real, for real. If you know what I'm saying. We done with this. 2026, this is a new year. It's time for you to take care of yourself. I don't care if last year didn't work, the year before that. We gonna try every fucking year till we get it right. And today, we gonna get it right. That's all I got to say about that. But boundaries, you need them. Start putting them motherfuckers up. And I'm gonna tell you, if you like some people, you still need the people that you putting up boundaries with for something, then you need to start to negotiate, strategize how to take that need away. Because what would you do if they went to heaven right now? What the fuck you would be doing? So start a strategy plan to remove yourself from those relationships where you need them. Now, thankfully, my kids is old enough. Now we watching ourselves. You know, while I'm gone, I got cameras on they motherfucking asses, honey. You can't get away with shit over here. I was born in the 80s. We got away with everything in the 90s. You can't pull that shit over here. But just to keep my kids safe, keep my household safe, keep my energy safe. Because when you going to school, got a podcast, and a full-time parent and a full-time provider, and you're taking your money that you have to put towards your dreams, you don't need nobody nagging you in the back of your ear, all mad at you because you spent too much time working on this, and a bitch like, if she doing that to you, it's probably time to kick the bitch out. Okay, like you just focus on your business. Focus on doing what the fuck you got to do. You know, and I'm just going to leave it like that. So right now, it's important. It is vital to keep your boundaries up. Stick to them. Gray rock. No phone call. Don't trust them. You know how they come on all nice and stuff. No, don't trust the motherfuckers. Don't trust them. I'm just saying. And so that's what we're going to talk about here. We're going to stick to that motherfucking gray rock 2026. Protecting our peace. And it's not going to feel good at first. It's not going to feel easy. You might feel like, oh, I feel bad. That's because the motherfuckers make you feel bad. If they didn't need you and they wasn't in your face, honey, you would be minding your business. So do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to leave that here. And make sure that you check out the Sexy Nurse Chronicles.com. If you don't put that Chronicles in there, you will get some phony shit. So the Sexy Nurse Chronicles.com. I'm getting some shirts made. Or you say, fuck them kids. Now, this is not for the child abusers. Okay, this is not for the people that don't take care of the kids and say fuck your kids. This is for the people that do. And when you want to have a night out, you can wear your fuck your kids. I want to get some candles made. Working on that, fuck them kids. While you enjoy yourself. That's self-care too. Not always putting the kids in front of you. Mama need a new hairstyle. Mama needs some new clothes. Mama needs some new shoes. Daddy need a haircut. Daddy need a night out. Daddy want a steak. You know? Daddy wants some free time. Mama wants some free time. Fuck them kids. Love my kids, but fuck them kids. And I also want to do some fuck them niggas. Fuck them hoes. And you know what I say?
Cut that bitch off.
So y'all, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, what is our 3 immune boosters? No contact, gray rock, and the ways to make these boundaries stick. So y'all, keep it sexy, keep it cute, and keep it stress-free. And I'm out.